Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I am very excited because I was inspired by watching the NCAA Final Four games. There is a huge thing that goes on behind the scenes leading up to these games you're seeing on television that is very, very important and so crucial to how the teams are playing and probably which team's going to win. And that thing is scouting. Scouting is a huge thing that coaches and college players do at the college level. It's something that isn't really done in high school and club. It is in the sense of, I remember going to watch two teams play because we were gonna play the winner, and I would sit there and you're like, okay, it looks like 15's their best player. Or the libero, she's good, don't serve her. Or, you know, the libero's not good, so serve her. You just pick up on little things, but when you get to the college level, you will be watching film on this team, the outside swings for 3 minutes straight, the opposite swings, where they like to serve, where they like to swing when the ball's set off the net, what about when the ball's tight? Where their favorite places to tip, if they're crossbody or they like to swing away. If they're on one foot, does a setter like to set the middle, or when she's on two, will she push it to the outside? There's all of these things that you will get coached up and taught by your coaches and by looking at the scouts that are prepared for you. So I want to show you guys what a scout looks like and how they work, because I think it will be really cool and beneficial for you to know this, because I had no idea how much went into scouting until I was in a film room. So this is what my scouting folder looked like. My senior year, we did them on paper. You can see my name is there. I doodled on it a little bit. I think that says melon. What? So this is paper. Obviously. My senior year, my coach believed in the pen to paper memorization, muscle memory thing. My first 3 years, my other coach, we had iPads, so we did all of this stuff on iPads, which I honestly preferred because we were able to have the video on our iPad so we could watch it at night. We could watch it whenever we wanted. And also I liked to just have everything in one place, because with paper it just gets kind of disorganized. Both are adequate ways. It depends on what your coach wants. So we're gonna look at a certain team that I played my senior year. I erased and I blocked out the names of the players as well as the name of the team, just because I want to keep it anonymous. Sorry, I'm sick. But let me walk you through a basic scout. So we get 2 pieces of paper. So on the scouting report, which is these 2 things together, there are 3 main things that are important and that we'll learn. The first thing is heat maps. Now, I know you can't see this too well, so I will be sure to pull that up over here. Heat maps are all of these pretty things right here. And basically what a heat map is it shows you where the ball lands most of the time. So if we're looking at number 3 hitting the go, you can see that it is the most yellow, the most hot, sort of in the left back, middle back position. And by looking at this, I would be able to know, okay, this person, when they're hitting the go, the quick set to the outside, likes to hit angle. So by looking at this heat map, which is a compilation of probably 100 of this girl's swings from all 20 of the games she's played in so far, I know what her favorite shot is that she tends to do most of the time. We also have her map for the hut, and the hut is the inside set, which is sort of where the middle hits the 3 or the gap, but for an outside, so it's called a hut or a rip, it's a little bit higher, and she likes hitting those angle, as we can see on the heat map. And then for this person's red, which is what we call the 5, or the back set to the opposite hitter, she loves the line. I mean, you can see in this map that she loves hitting line on the red. So the heat maps are just really easy ways for the players to look at the court and know where this player likes to hit. The second thing that is really important that we will learn from the scouting report are the statistics and the numbers and all of that concrete data that tells you a lot about what a player does or what a team does. So let's move to player number 24. So 24 has 7.4 attempts per set. So that means that each set, she's getting around 7 balls set to her by the setter. Now, we would look when we get the scouting report, we'll look at all of the APS stats, and according to this report, number 3 has the most attempts per set at 9.7, and number 24 has the second most at 7.4. So this just tells you that this is one of their go-to hitters, and it's not something that we're just evaluating by looking at the court. It's literally based on the past 20-something games. This person is getting at least 7 balls a set, which is second on the team. Then you move down and you get kills per set. So this person is scoring 2.4 kills per set, which is normal. So kills per set just lets you know how often they're contributing, and then below that is efficiency. So 24 is averaging a 1.73 on all of her attacks, which is okay. I would say strong outsides, strong pins want to be hitting 200 and above. 300 is great, 400 is amazing. I mean, those are crazy numbers. Then below that, there is a pass to hit efficiency. So number 24 doesn't have this statistic, which means she probably doesn't pass. So let's move up to number 20. So number 20 has an efficiency of 0.247, but a pass to hit efficiency of 0.250. So the pass to hit basically means when this person passes the ball in receive and then gets set the ball and swings, what is their overall efficiency, as opposed to them just watching the libero or someone else pass the ball and then they go take their approach and they hit. This 2.47 to 2.50 doesn't really make a significant difference, but sometimes when you look at certain stats, players will pass like 0.100 better if they're passing, because they love to be in the groove and they love to touch the ball and then take their approach and they get the rhythm. Other players, if you serve them, their numbers are down on efficiency because it's too much to think about, or they can't get their footwork in or whatnot. So it's interesting to see if the players like to be passing or they don't like to be passing based on the stats. Then the statistic below that is pass X FBSO. So I forget how these numbers work. This was something that my coach did my senior year, so it was new for me too. All I know is that 0.40 and above is really good. I remember, oops, that's my dog. Come on. So fluffy, I'm gonna die. You say hi. You say hi. So, sorry, I forget how the numbers work. All I remember my coach saying is 0.40 is good. That's what you want to be. And then above that is great. And I remember him saying that a great libero is around 0.42. So that was just a stat where we could look at the number and basically determine if this is a good or a bad passer. That's why the scouting reports are great, because you're just getting it presented to you and it's not someone's opinion, it's literally the numbers based on a lot of things, based on a lot of games and a lot of time. So we can look at this and say, in general, this person's not a good passer, or in general, this person is a great attacker. Then right below that is team hitting efficiency off of their pass. So this is an interesting statistic that I didn't really understand. I mean, some statistics are crazy, right? But this one was literally like, every time, for example, every time Victoria passes the ball, regardless of what kind of pass it is, good or bad, who sets it, who attacks it, in general, are we scoring when Victoria is the first touch? That's what this stat means. Number 3, the team's hitting efficiency off her pass is 209, which is really good. That's a good number, which means when 3 is passing, the team is often playing well. You can see that number 3 is at the top of our list, which means she's like the best player. A lot of times the scout will be organized in order of priority. So that was the second thing you learn from the scouting report, are the numbers and the data. And then the third thing that you learn are the rotations and the routes. This is a really cool part of the game that makes it so easy once you get into competition, because you literally know how they are lining up and in those positions where they like to run. If you ever feel like you are at the net you're at the net while your team's serving, or you're on defense looking through the net and you have the middles over here, and then when the ball's served, middle's running this way, outs is running this way, the setter's coming from behind. It's like there's so many things going on. Well, when you get to college, you know exactly who is running where and what they like to do. And then beyond that, you know where they like to set and then where that person likes to swing. So you really know a lot before you get into the game. So let's look at these rotations. So rotation 1, we can see that the setter is hiding behind number 3, who's on a red, which if we remember from before, she likes to hit what on the red? line. And then we have 11 on a 1 or a gap, and we have 20 on the go. This is very straightforward. There's no tricks happening here. If we move to rotation 4, you'll see this is a lot more tricky. So we have 2 things on our scouting report for row 4 because there's 2 different ways they can line up. They can stack or they can split. So at the first version of row 4, they are split. Number 4 is hitting the red, 10's on the quick, 24 is on the go. And then while we're looking at this, I can look and say 24, she's not an outside, but she's on the go, and I can go see what she hits on the go, and 24 hits .223 on the go, which is really good, and she's an opposite, and on the opposite, on the red, she hits .174. So 24 probably loves this rotation, and this is where she hits the best, actually, which is ironic, because she's an oppo. But then the second alternate version of rotation 4, they slide 4 over, they stack, 4 is now on the go, 24 is running a 2 ball, and 10 is running a slide. So that's where things get difficult. And so if we're in the game and we see rotation 4 and I see the coach say, stack, 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 and 4 runs over and all 3 players are on the right, I know what they like to do here. They like to bring 24 in for the 2. Now we have a slide to worry about. So now I have 2 totally different balls to defend. I have a slide and I have a 2 ball. So that's totally different than before, which was just the red quick go. So that's why these things are really helpful. Another thing too that's great from these scouting reports is, for example, if we go back to number 3. So number 3 loves to hit line on the red. So what we can do there is now plan to have our blockers get all the way out to the pin and seal the line and force her to hit her least favorite shot, which is crossbody. And this makes sense, you guys, right? Because on her go and her hut, she likes to swing like this. She likes to go angle. So when she's on the line, she also likes to keep her arm like this and her shoulder like this. A lot of times hitters will either be crossbody and they'll get up and they're always coming across like this, or they'll be like this. Really good hitters can do both. Sorry, what was I saying though about her? Oh yeah. So we might plan to seal the line and make her hit a shot she doesn't like. And then last but not least, I should have gone over this in the beginning, but we have a little pie chart of how they like to set up and which players are next to each other. This was beyond my knowledge. I couldn't pay attention to that, but we had some really good players who knew rotations really well, so they could see if girls were out of rotation and then tell our coach, hey, setters like in front of the, I don't even know what those, that's beyond me. I have too many things to worry about and I have anxiety, so I can't worry about that. And then we also have a little box with general notes, so 6-2 offense, and then the serving target. So it says serving target, libero, and then if 4, 24, or 20 are exposed, serve them. So basically in this game, we went after the libero. I think she was a freshman and a little shaky, which is why we chose her. And I think they were like rotating liberos, so we were able to kind of take advantage of that weakness. And you can see that the yellow boxes in each rotation are where we want to serve. Libero, 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 libero. That always fascinates me because I was a libero too, and like, I think it's such a mental game. And I remember my freshman year when I was a defensive specialist, I was passing with Sam Bricio, who's an icon, and she was National Player of the Year. And so people would start games and they would have to scout our team and make a decision. And their decision was, do we serve Sam Bricio because she's gonna get more sets than anyone else, most attempts per set, and we wanna get her tired and we wanna wear her down? Or, even though she's a good passer, or do we serve the freshman defensive specialist who's shaky and, you know, and it was funny because we would get out for the games and I would watch the first server go back and like look at Sam and I was like, oh, phew! In my head I was thinking that is so the wrong decision. You should 100% be serving me right now. But I just bring that up to show you guys how there are certain decisions that teams make based on the scouting report. So I think that was it in this quick little tutorial of what it is like to scout teams. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The one thing I will add is I could not show you film in this video just because I don't have any film on these players, but while we go over this in the film room, we all sit there in a room and our coach on the screen has video and he walks us through the scout. So we all just sit there quietly and we watch number 3 hit the go ball for like 2 minutes. And what we look for is just what does her approach look like? If she tips it, is it because the set was past her or does she swing no matter what? The film is the most important thing because we're able to see what these players do and what their swings look like. We'll watch the setters setting you know, here's what she looks like when she sets the 1. Sometimes there are giveaways. So there's little things that we will see when watching film that will tell us what these players' tendencies are, so that when we get in the game, we're even more prepared. I hope this was helpful for you all, and when you watch the game tonight, maybe it will make you look at it differently, and the way you see the blockers leaving and the attackers attacking and where the defense is setting up, because these players know each other so well because they've scouted each other. I hope that this was fun and informative and educational, and you guys feel like you learned something. So thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be watching the final championship game tonight. I'm so excited about it. So comment down below who you're rooting for, and make sure you subscribe, and also follow my Instagram @VictoriaGarrick.